A person becomes bankrupt once a bankruptcy order is made against the person. In this segment of the video, you will learn about what to expect as a bankrupt, as well as the responsibilities and restrictions on bankrupts. Official assignee is an officer appointed to manage a bankrupt's assets and liabilities. Once a person is declared a bankrupt, it is his duty to hand over all his assets to the official assignee, who will sell them to pay off the bankrupt's debt. Common assets include a bankrupt's private property, cash balance in bank accounts, insurance policies, any inheritance received, items in safe deposit boxes, vehicles, as well as shares in public listed and private companies. Certain assets are protected from creditors and the bankrupt can continue to own them. Such assets include 1. HDB flat owned by Singapore citizen, 2. CPF contributions, and 3. Insurance policies covered under Section 73 of the Conveyancing and Law of Property Act. You may contact the official assignee if you need further clarification on such assets. A bankrupt is required by law to fulfill the following duties. First, a bankrupt must submit his statement of affairs within 21 days from the date of the bankruptcy order or such period specified by the official assignee. The statement of affairs requires the bankrupt to disclose everything he owns and owes truthfully, without leaving out or submitting wrong information. The bankrupt must cooperate with the official assignee should his assistance be asked on the filing of his statement of affairs, as the bankrupt is legally responsible for his or her submission. Secondly, a bankrupt is required to submit a monies and property statement declaring his monthly income and expenses truthfully, every 3 months to a year for the official assignee's assessment. Last but not least, an employed bankrupt is required to make monthly contributions to his bankruptcy estate to pay his debts. The monthly contribution amount should be proportionate to his monthly income and will be reviewed by the official assignee periodically. A bankrupt may open a savings account for his monthly contributions to be deducted periodically through GIRO. Failure to file the statement of affairs or a monies and property statement is an offence punishable with a fine or imprisonment or both. Failing to pay excess monies as contributions into the bankruptcy estate may also constitute an offence. A bankrupt is also subject to the following restrictions. A bankrupt cannot dispose of his property as the property vests in the official assignee on the making of the bankruptcy order. Hence, any disposal of his property by the bankrupt will be ineffective. However, this restriction does not apply to protected property such as a bankrupt's HDB flat and his CPF money. A bankrupt is not allowed to travel out of Singapore or to remain overseas without the prior permission of the official assignee. You are considered to have travelled out of Singapore if you pass through an immigration checkpoint from Singapore. Thus, taking a day trip to Malaysia or boarding a cruise ship is considered travelling out of Singapore. To travel overseas, a bankrupt must submit his travel application at least 14 days in advance for the official assignee's approval. The official assignee may then approve or reject the application, depending on how regular a bankrupt has been with his monthly contributions and the level of cooperation that the bankrupt has displayed. A bankrupt should only travel after the outcome of the travel application is made known to him. Other than court action for damages or compensation for personal injuries or wrongful acts against the bankrupt, a bankrupt is not allowed to start or continue any court action without obtaining prior permission from the official assignee. A bankrupt is not allowed to obtain credit exceeding $500 without revealing his bankruptcy status. A bankrupt is automatically disqualified from being appointed or acting as a trustee or personal representative in respect of any trust, estate, or settlement without the permission of the court. As a bankrupt, you cannot act as a director or manager of any corporation, limited liability partnership, or business, except with the written permission of the court or the official assignee. If you are a director or involved in the management of any corporation and have not obtained such permission, the Registrar of Companies in the Accounting and Corporate Regulatory Authority, ACRA, will automatically remove your name from the register that he keeps. If you are a manager of any limited liability partnership or business and have not obtained permission to continue managing the partnership or business, please notify ACRA immediately of your bankruptcy status. Failure to comply with any of these restrictions may constitute an offense punishable on conviction, to a fine, or to imprisonment, or to both. For any further queries, please approach our officers for assistance.